everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for May 8th, 2020, Friday, Eastern. Mr. Rand, I've gotten a lot of emails from people. Just a reminder, we will have all of our, Tradera communications, everything. The call-in number is on the website, weareonelightforall.net, and we have our first call tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern on that line. And that line, and it is on the website, weareonelightforall.net, and it's 712-770-5376. 712-770-5376. 712-770-5376. And the participant code is 885-470-pound. 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 And we will, like we've done with all the calls, we'll record those. And they're separate from our meditation and our TFCC. So that's why I set it up that way. In our progression in these current bodies that we are fulfilling as we create. Now picture this. You, each and every one of us, have been in charge since the beginning. Understand that. It is not like you have been directed from external authority to be a certain way, do a certain thing, act a certain way, believe a certain way. It's completely, totally, without any doubt, without any question, without any expectations, without any attachments, you literally direct you. Now, and help is the God within. It's your pure consciousness, the God within you, the kingdom of God, the heaven. A lot of names for it. There's a lot of names for the pure consciousess, source creation. But when it's all revealed, this is why the journey within, that we all, either we choose to or we don't. Some are fearful, some don't know how, and some just open arms, step right into that journey. And yes, the journey is an unknown. It is literally, like I've said, crossing the bridge over the river of void and entering into the land, and it's unknown. Everything is unknown. Now, in that situation that we find ourselves in is that when you enter the land of the unknown, if you choose to, you begin to realize that all of these opportunities or whatever show themselves to you, you can pick and choose. At the same time, when you become connected to the God, to your consciousness, to your pure consciousness, you'll be able to direct without any doubt or fear. Those are all thoughts that we have an incessant action of creating them into reality, and most of us are unconscious of it. But that's how this whole matrix operates, see? Now, a lot of us are in 5D, and 1 foot is in a cow pie in 3D. So it's up to us to determine, okay, we can still view it, and we don't have to be attached to it but we can, as we transition, we can view it and watch it. See what I mean? But not interact with it. Not participate and interact with it. Because the only way that this civilization is going to, and it's going to, make this leap across the board, is when each and every one of us decide that the only journey we've ever had is discovering the God within us and also embracing the pure consciousness of all things, of source creation, of all things, of infinity, of existence. And when we make that to ourselves without being, guided or stressed or pushed or manipulated, but through our own decision, through our heart mind, of walking, stepping into that, this is where we find really, truly what we are and who we are, okay? Which basically just means that you discover pure consciousness. You discover your God. And when that happens, there's a massive shift with each of us that do discover that. Now, we're not talking about religion. This has nothing to do with it. It's totally, completely separated from religion. It is what we are. We are all pure consciousness. We are connected to all the particles of existence. It's just that we haven't practiced or decided to embrace that and to know that. This is why we've been so separated so very long as a civilization. And the more we come together, the more we understand that each of us, when you're walking or going somewhere, okay, or family, and it is a collective acceptance or interaction that we choose to make. So when you come across somebody or you're talking with somebody, and I know this is kind of strange, but some people will act it out. They'll show it, and in respect of the pure consciousness within, the God within each of us. So, and they bow their heads, and they put their hands together, which means, the God in me greets the God in you. My consciousness greets the consciousness within you, pure consciousness. Now, if you're not, and a lot of people are, they're not going to, do that outward-wise, is physically. But if you could emulate that within you when you come across people, I don't care if they weigh 800 pounds and they smell. It doesn't matter. It is the God within each and every one of us. That is a connection that this civilization is making in its own way. It is a deep connection because when we come back to that, we were that, but we became separated from it. But when we go back to that and we connect with that, that's when we start to realize that all this outside of us, all of it, really has no meaning until you have reunited yourself with your pure consciousness, with your God. And even then, you begin to realize that it is your canvas to paint. It is your direction to decide and to determine, and I'm talking through the heart mind and with your God, on how you desire to exist. It's how you desire to exist. It isn't anybody else. It isn't about anything outside of you. We all get, from our ego mind, we get bombarded every day, 24/7. And from the ego mind, a lot of us are stretched and misdirected. The only reason that is because so many of us have become so entrenched in externality, which just means that we're occupied with everything around us, that we engage with everything around us. And the whole time we're doing that, we're more in physicality. We're more embracing our physical existence with this biological form, this body, and all the interactions that involves. Now imagine this for a moment, for your heart minds. Imagine that there was nothing. There was nothing for you to do. That all of the externality was gone. That there was not. It's similar to this craziness of people having to stay in their homes and distance themselves, which is just absolute joke because of the fact that we cannot distance ourselves. We are one. And this is how they train the civilization in believing that you distance yourself. Can you imagine that when there's nothing to do, nothing for you, there's no television, there's no internet, no computers, no phones, no nothing, zero. What do you think would take place? How would you view that? If you could just watch from outside and watched it all, how do you think it would be? Now, you don't care to use your ego mind with this. You want to use your heart mind. And so, you may remember, we're on the direction of eliminating the ego mind, okay? And we will eventually. But what would you do when you've been trained so incessantly throughout your life to interact with the external authority, everything around you, and to become part of it, and to literally ignore the God within you, and to live into the future and the past and never identify the present moment or the now? This is most people, okay? But when you take all of that, the distraction, all of those things are gone. And if when those who have decided to go within, to the pure consciousness within them, the God, the kingdom of God, it wouldn't make any difference. You see what I mean? When we can finally detach from all of that stuff, and we embrace the God within us, the pure consciousness, and then we discover that we can literally design anything we choose. And operating from the heart mind and with your God, none of it, it's for everyone. So when we embrace the gods within us and we start, moving within that journey, and we begin to discover more and more about pure consciousness and what that is, and us, and our existence. You look at yourself, try this, that you are endless, that you are eternal, that you will never, ever, ever, ever be no more. You would just won't. And I'll tell you why. The reason pure consciousness, which is all of creation, which is all of existence, is infinity, eternal, that energy is constant. It's everywhere. What do you think pure consciousness is? It is energy, frequency. And that when I talk about the fact that we all, each of us, when we come to that understanding in our own way, in our own direction, through our own decision, we begin to really understand that there's no limitation for any of us. There never was. You see? But we have a tendency to become distracted and to get involved or absorbed into the externality of this civilization, which has been used to. So it's automatic. You know, when you're used to doing that forever, you know, hundreds of thousands of years of civilization, it's innate. It's automatic. And that's the toughest part for us to understand, that why would I choose to do that any longer? We've already experienced it over and over again. Now, internally, I would like to experience the fact that I am creating and I'm experiencing my creation. You see? Knowingly and consciously that you're experiencing your creation, that you're creating for you, which literally affects all of us, but you're creating for you so you can experience your creation. Isn't that interesting? Experience your creation. There's nothing on this planet, in it, on it, above it, below it, all the civilizations beneath the surface of this planet, and also in the infrared spectrum and the ultraviolet spectrum, light spectrum, and the different densities of frequency spectrum, all of the life forms that exist in those spectrums. We're all connected. We're all one. The Pleiadians, the Sirians, the Arcturians, the Andromedas, the only reason that some of these civilizations believe that they are higher than us because of technology or because of their intellect is silly. It's absolutely silly. Because of the fact that we are all one. We are connected in the continuum of existence, of all the particles. We are simply facets of creation, all connected, all breathing as one, all existing eternally. So we experience our own creation. Wouldn't that be exciting for each of us? That you create, that you literally bring into creation and move energy into form, but it's for you and you experience it. It's like, Edith, what are you doing? I'm experiencing my creation. I moved energy into form. I just got through designing my backyard. What do you mean? Did you go to the greenhouses or, the nurseries? No. I moved energy into form, so I started to create beauty in my backyard. So I created trees, beautiful grass, a couple water areas, and if you got a small backyard, so what? And or if you have no backyard, okay? And I'm enjoying it. I'm experiencing my own creation that I intended for me. Wow, that sounds really cool. How can I do that? Well, and then the story begins. Okay? We become the teachers of each other. We're always expanding, learning, and growing. Okay? And when we turn within, each and every one of us, if we decide to, or when we decide to, we're teaching each other. And I'm not talking about this crazy educational system on this planet. I'm talking about us educating each other, learning from each other. Why do you think that it's been designed the way it is, where we all appear separate, we have separate lives and families, and we have different experiences, I'm talking globally, and we go through these experiences, a lot of the time, since we're disconnected from our gods, we think they're horrible, and they're stressful, and they're ridiculous, and they're challenging, and, they cause worry, stress, and fear, and why me type thing in some situations. We're learning so that when we interact with each other, the ego isn't present. Big difference, big difference, big difference. When the ego mind isn't present and you're operating from your heart mind, because you love everyone, because they're all part of you, and we're all the God, it is a whole different experience. And imagine eventually that we're in groups what each of us is created to experience. Imagine that. And then we all sit down and go into deep meditation to journey further within our pure consciousness. And then we share our experiences of where we went, what we experienced in the great fabric, the great cosmos, existence. And with the pineal fully functioning, we would be able to do that, and we would interact, and we would learn from each other. I don't care if you're digging ditches. We learn from each other. This is why it's designed that way. It appears like we're separate. Bill and Judy live 3,000 miles away, but yet it's as if they're in the same room. The reason is because when we understand that we are literally one, all experiencing different aspects of ourselves, each other, then we begin to learn from each other. I mean, in relationships, associations, if you realize something, that this being is a reflection of some of, or one, or many of things that I need to look at about myself. That if they're doing something, you learn you don't do that because you understand how the frequency affects your field. You're learning from people that, like when you come across someone that disturbs you, and you instead of getting upset and irritated inside, you stop a minute and you step outside and you say, what is it here that I'm seeing that's irritating me? What is it why am I so, frictioned with this being? Why is that? Because there's something with you that you have not addressed and forgiven with you. Okay? So if you're just told that somebody can't hear me in the meditation, that's the only heads up I've gotten. But it might be your line. But anyway, when you're looking at this, it's a whole different understanding, way different than what we are experiencing now and how we view things. Everybody's a facet of you. So if you get irritated with somebody, it's because there is something with you that you haven't addressed and made peace with or forgiven, whatever it may be. And that's why we are structured the way we are. That we created this, the pure consciousness created this on this planet so that we can do that. We can learn from each other. Now you imagine when we're able to leave the planet at will, and we're able to interact with other civilizations. You imagine how much we will be able to experience and learn? It's like a potpourri. It's just absolutely exhilarating to think about that. Through the heart-mind, the interaction of visiting, witnessing, interacting, communicating with other parts of you from different solar systems, from different galaxies, from different existences. This is where we're going. Experiencing your own creation. So if you will, go to the place where you're not going to be interrupted, and I'm sure we all are. And the first thing that we want to do is relax our bodies. Now, once you understand, and it's not easy for any of us, to begin to realize that you are the master over the body. So the body and you work together. So you interact with the body so that you get an intimate knowledge and understanding of your body. Okay? And when it talks with you, and then you respond, okay, we'll take care of that. we're going to do this, this, and this. How does that sound with you? Okay, we'll try it. Let me know if it's working. You see what I mean? So, body relaxes. You're just talking, you say, body, it's time for us to relax. All right? Now, if I unconsciously have been holding things in myself that I'm not aware of with you, body, then, let's release those. Let's release the stress, any anxieties or fears or inconsistencies that I've brought into myself or thoughts that aren't mine that I've embraced. Let's let them go, so that I would like you to be able to relax into peace and tranquility and benevolence. And so the body will relax. You'll feel it. And you'll know where you hold. You will, once you are communicating and working through the heart-mind, you'll know where you hold your stress. You'll know where it's at. You'll be able to just let it go. And this is so, so, so true. Go with the flow. And carry no expectations or attachments. That's the old way of this old world that is disintegrating right before our eyes. So it's total relaxation for the body. And we move into the now. And the now, quite frankly, is what we have. It isn't the past. The past is dead and gone. It's inert. It isn't the future. We have not created our future yet. But now, we all know that a lot of people, and maybe some of us have done it unknowingly, but we go into the past because the past is seductive, because we reminisce over some experiences that we've had, could be 40 years ago, and we remember them like they were yesterday. And we experience that, and that's good. That's what gives us our specific flavors as we progress in this life. But it is gone. We've already experienced it. Now, some people will take the past and bring it into the future that doesn't exist, and they will create their future from the past, and they will relive the past in that future. And so in the now, what we do is we're creating our future. We're designing it every step of the way. And we don't hold any expectations or attachments to it. So we design it, and we release it, and we go with the flow. We ride the eternal wave of joy. Okay? We ride the eternal wave of joy. And to picture that, okay, in your heart-mind, riding the eternal wave of joy, which is you, which is your pure consciousness. You got, when you ride the eternal wave of joy, you have no expectations, you have no attachments, and you just flow. The wave carries you. What is the wave? It is the joy. What is the joy? The joy is complete peace. You just ride the wave. So you ride the eternal wave of joy. Now, also, the now stills the mind. It stills our ego mind. See? It stills our mind. And we don't get the chatter. We move into the now, we still the mind, and we don't have this noise coming in, and we don't have these thoughts coming in. If you focus, you will immediately know when you are in the now, whatever you're doing in that moment to moment, you will find that you will not be wandering off in thoughts of the future, strange thoughts that aren't yours. That's why you go, what are these? And you won't have those, because the only thing you're concentrating on is the moment, the now. washing your hands into now, rather than thinking of all kinds of other things while you're washing your hands. Or when you're in the shower washing your hair, you're thinking of all kinds of other things in the future, in the past, and you've totally negated the now, in the moment. You see how we do it? And instead, we're in that moment. We are focused on exactly what we're doing in that moment. And we literally embrace the deepest of eternal gratitude for it. You're guiding yourself with your God, okay? Now also, in the now, each of us create our future. We are creating our future so we can experience our creation of the future. We are creating our future so we can experience the creation of that future. You understand? Why wouldn't you want to experience that which you created for you? Would you rather experience things that you don't have a clue about, that you're randomly grabbing thoughts, creating them into reality, and living that way, and then you never have a clue of anything because you are literally a wandering generality out there with the matrix? Or would you choose to experience your own creation, your future, ride the eternal wave of joy? So also we want to breathe. We want to breath in through our noses and breath out through our mouths. Breathing's so important. I think we all know that. And see, people say, well, what can I use that I have that will help me focus on the now? Your breath. It's not easy because we're so used to wandering off this way, off that way. So we focus on our breath. It takes a bit. You go into relaxation, total quietness, and you listen to your breathing. You listen to it. And it focuses you on the now, in the moment. And it literally begins to release you from your own self-imposed bondage and your own self-imposed slavery. When we talk about what we're here, why we're here, what we're doing in this matrix that we have left. But remember, we still got one foot in the cow pie. So picture this for your heart minds. As you breath in, easy, good breath in, inhale through the nose. And picture it as you pull it up through the chakras. Okay? Now, the chakras are etheric energy points. And they balance our auric field, our God, our energy. So when we take that breath, we start with the sacral chakra. Those of you who don't know much about the chakras, which I'm sure that's most of you do, we start with the sacral chakra, which is the groin. And we pull it through, literally move it up our body, it's right through the center, through all the different chakra points. We bring it all the way up to the heart chakra, throat chakra, third eye chakra, crown chakra. And we feel that, we pull that pure divine positive energy up through the center, through the chakras, up into the brain. And as we hold it briefly, 3 seconds, I am light, I am love, I am, and we condense it in those 3 seconds. We literally pressurize it into pure liquid energy, pure liquid frequency of divine positive energy. As we do that, we release it over the pineal gland. The pineal gland, instead of being a prune, begins to expand and come alive, decalcify, and literally bloom like a rose. Now picture doing this at least 6 times. And The pineal gland is our gateway to all the particles of existence. It is also our gateway to pure consciousness and our gateway to beyond. So it's important for this breathing exercise and a visualization of what we're doing to bring the pineal fully online. Now, we are in the heart-mind. We practice the heart-mind, not the ego-mind. We practice with our God, the pure consciousness, source creation of that which created us. Pure consciousness creates all things. Just like I said, we've all created universe and we aren't conscious of it. So we will be, though. And we're one. We're one with our God, our pure consciousness, with the body, with the heart-mind. And we have no expectations. We have no attachments. And we're literally riding the eternal wave of joy. So we have others with us right now. We have the archangels, the cherubim, the seraphim, and the archetypes. All of the angels are a civilization that vibrates at a different frequency than we do. That's why we don't see them like we see each other. We feel them, we smell them, and that sounds funny, but we smell them. They leave a scent of a very unusual perfume smell, the frequency. And a lot of the times, a lot of us don't realize it unless we're focused with who we are, that they'll appear in humanoid form and they'll leave us a message. They'll give us a message. They'll be talking with us. And it seems kind of unusual that they're there, but they appear at the most perfect times. And when you do that, you'll interact with them, and if you understand yourself to the God that you are, you'll pick up on it. You won't pick up on it until they actually are gone, and then a wave will come out over you. And you'll say, that was an angel. And it was a wonderful message they gave me. It gave me the realization, or it opened up the realization of that part of me, or that aspect, or to remind me of the gratitude and the joy of really experiencing life in these bodies. So as many as 50, 60,000 can surround any one of us at any one time. Because of their vibrational frequency, they take up very little space in many number, large number. And that's blissful. That's absolutely blissful. You can ask them to do it anytime you want to, by the way, through the heart-mind. And just be. No expectations. No attachments. They're consciously aware that they're of the highest, deepest, eternal love from the highest, deepest, eternal love and the highest and deepest, eternal gratitude. And they love us. We love them. They're part of us. We're part of them. We have the Ascended Masters. Kuan Yin, Maitreya, Buddha, Lakshmi, Ganesh, Gaia, Saint Germain, Sananda Jesus, Amoria, Abundantia, Pel, Thoth, many, many, many more. And they're consciously aware that they're of the highest, deepest, eternal love from the highest, deepest, eternal love and the highest and deepest, eternal gratitude. Now, they've ascended out of their physical forms, and they hold God form. Well, what is God form? God form is pure consciousness. And so they're around, and they assist us. We are just absolutely assisted always. That's a given. How can you not be when you're part of everything? See? It's an automatic. It's just that we don't acknowledge it because we haven't begun the journey within. Those of us that do begin to realize that. And we become closer and closer with riding the eternal wave of joy. So we have ascended into body to experience physical form. And in physical form, connected with our pure consciousness, kingdom of God, God within us, we're able to create what we desire to experience. Create your experience. Create it. Create the world you desire. There's nothing holding you back except you. So all of us decide to form, we're here to form this circle of light, this halo, this vibrant, brilliant white light, which is our God within, which is pure consciousness, which is deep eternal love, deep eternal gratitude. And so we do. We come together, hand in hand, arm in arm, all of our gods together, and we form this brilliant light. Nothing like it on Earth. Nothing like this, the depth and the dimensional frequency of this light. It grays out the darkness of space. It's 1 billion times brighter than the sun in the solar system. We created this solar system. So, as we do this, we don't have physical form. All you see is the light. And the light begins to levitate up from the equator of this planet Earth, Gaia, and it ascends up. It levitates up. And as we do that, we immediately enter in a gossamer field. And the gossamer field is everywhere. It is brilliant, reflective colors, shimmering all around. Just magnificent. And the light, like the emerald green flaming healing light of Archangel Raphael. This light is a column that reminds us that we are the power of healing. We have the violet, blue, purple flaming light of Archangel Michael. This is a column that reminds us of our true power, our strength, our resolve. We have the white fire. White fire is pure, deep, eternal love and gratitude. It's highest of highest high frequencies. This fire, this armor, we maintain those frequencies. We continue to elevate, ascend, enlighten ourselves, more enlightened. And this fire burns. Now, it's not a heat. It is just a brilliant frequency of the highest of highest high frequencies of the gods that we are, the pure consciousness, the pure deep eternal love. And only we choose, each of us, no one else, we do, always. So if we begin to lower ourselves into lower vibrational frequencies, lower survival matter frequencies, lower dark matter frequencies, and only ourselves can do that. We have the purple transmuting flame. This is a column that reminds us that if that does happen, whether knowingly or unknowingly, we can bring in the purple transmuting flame, and we literally neutralize those lower dark matter frequencies, lower survival matter frequencies into neutral light substance. Henceforth, we send them back to pure consciousness where they become no more. And then we have the violet ray, which is a column that reminds us that we have the power to bring the violet ray in and to reharmonize that area that we lowered our frequencies, and where we balance it and we move the frequencies back up, purifying and reigniting our high frequency field, so the white fire is reinstated. We also have the golden white pink light. This is a column that reminds us of what we are. We're pure consciousness, love, joy, bliss, peace, kindness, generosity, gentleness, humbleness, benevolence, tranquility. This is a column that reminds us of what we are. We're pure creation. We create 24/7, and we can choose to ride the eternal wave of joy. Or not. Now we continue to levitate And as we do this, those of us carrying physical form or in physical form step outside our physical form. We float above our bodies effortlessly. And as we do that, we immediately are compelled to call upon all of the light energy beings and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. And only those who are consciously aware that they are of the highest, deepest, eternal love, from the highest, deepest, eternal love, join us in this meditation, this now in this circle of light, the highest and deepest eternal gratitude. They're in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, humbleness, peace, joy, bliss, tranquility, and benevolence. And they come arm in arm, hand in hand, their gods with our gods with theirs, in the Guga plexus. One Guga plex fills this universe. They come in the trillions of Guga plexus from every direction. They're in full compassion, non-judgment, non-negativity, non-ego, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence. And they join us in this now, in this meditation, in the circle of light. They are of the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude and the highest of deepest eternal love. We are of the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude and the highest of deepest eternal love. And we are the one. We are the God. And we are the love. And our God-light energy is absolutely everywhere, and it continues to intensify, and it continues to expand. We call upon all the inhabitants of inner earth, hollow earth, Agartha, and beneath earth, all of these civilizations, many, many, many of them, and only those who are consciously aware that they are of the highest, deepest, eternal love from the highest, deepest, eternal love and the highest or deepest, eternal gratitude can join us in this now, in this meditation, in this circle of light. They're in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, benevolence, tranquility. And they come into billions, arm in arm, hand in hand, their gods with our gods with theirs. They are with us in this now, in this meditation, this circle of light. They are of the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude and the highest of deepest eternal love. We are of the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude and the highest of deepest eternal love. And we are the one. And we are the love, and we are the God, and our God-light energy is absolutely everywhere, and it continues to intensify, and it continues to expand. We call upon all the galactics, all the off-worlders, many, many, many civilizations. We are only familiar with a fraction of them. The Arcturians, the Andromedans, Syrians, Pleiadians. Many, many, many more. Only those who are consciously aware that they are of the highest, deepest, eternal love, and from the highest, deepest, eternal love, and the highest and deepest, eternal gratitude can join us in this now, in this meditation, in this circle of light. They're in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, and benevolence. And they come in the billions, arm in arm, hand in hand, their gods with our gods with theirs. They have been assisting us in our evolution, in our enlightenment, in our ascension, freeing ourselves from our own self-imposed bondage and our own self-imposed slavery. They are of the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude and the highest of deepest eternal love. We are of the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude and the highest of deepest eternal love. And we are the one. And we are the love. And we are the God. And our God light energy is absolutely everywhere, and it continues to intensify, and it continues to expand. We call upon all of our loved ones, all of those who have ascended out of body in this lifetime and all lifetimes that we have inhabited, only those who are consciously aware that they are of the highest, deepest eternal love, from the highest, deepest eternal love, and the highest of deepest eternal gratitudes can join us now in this meditation in this circle of light. They're in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, and benevolence. And they come in the billions, arm in arm, hand in hand, their gods with our gods with theirs. They are with us in this now, in this circle of light, in this meditation. They are of the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude and the highest of deepest eternal love. We are in the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude and the highest of deepest eternal love. And we are the one, and we are the God, and we are the love. And our God light energy is absolutely everywhere. And it continues to intensify, and it continues to expand. We call upon all of the light energy beings who have decided to be housed in the following forms: on, in, above, and below this planet Earth, Gaia, and this now, and this meditation, and this circle of light. It's just to name a fraction of them. We have the fairies, the sprites, the elves, the gnomes, the dwarves, the trees, the elementals, earth, air, water, fire, ether, the mermaid, the dolphin, the whale, the Pegasus, the unicorn, the centaur, the minotaur, and many, many, many more. Only those who are consciously aware that they are of the highest, deepest eternal love, from the highest, deepest eternal love, and the highest and deepest eternal gratitude can join us in this now, in this meditation, this circle of light. They're in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, and benevolence. And they come in the trillions. Their gods with our gods with theirs. And they come in shapes, sizes, forms, colors, configurations, of which many we have never seen before. They are with us in this meditation, in this now, in this circle of light. They are of the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude and the highest of deepest eternal love. We are of the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude and the highest of deepest eternal love. And we are the one, we are the God, and we are the love, and our God light energy is absolutely everywhere. It is in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever, beyond, and forever. And it continues to intensify, and it continues to expand. We look up and we see our meditative sphere. It sits center circle. We created this sphere, all of us, over the last 2 years. It houses all of our meditations in perpetual motion. Over 800 meditations of the highest intent, deep eternal love and gratitude, literally intensifying and expanding every second. This is why this sphere can be seen, heard, and felt in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. It floods the very fabric of existence. It floods all of us. our physical forms, our etherical forms, floods our consciousness, floods the God, floods us, bathes us, saturates us, and the deep eternal love and gratitude. And this is the understanding that when we come to it, we begin to ride the eternal wave of joy forever. Forever. Eternally. With no expectations, no attachments. We ride the eternal wave of joy. We look down upon this planet Earth, Gaia, in this now, in this meditation, this circle of light. We see all of our brothers and sisters, we actually experience them. All life, everything, on and above and below this planet Earth, Gaia, in this now, in this meditation, this circle of light. They are being flooded, saturated, and bathed in the love that created all of us. Pure consciousness, source creation, the same energy and frequency that created prime source creator God, mother, father God, masculine, feminine, all things. And they are being lifted. They're starting to embrace the true joy that they really are. The pure consciousness, the God. And they continue to levitate. And all of this continues to intensify, and it continues to expand. See it and feel it through your heart mind. See it in motion. We also look and we see this magnificent, massive column that is larger than the solar system, and it is from its top, its peak, 360 degrees, it is literally pouring forth the golden ocean. And the golden ocean is all creation, is all existence. Each of us is a drop in that ocean, and each of us carry the essence of that ocean. And we continue to intensify, and we continue to expand. And more, we will experience our creation, and more, we will ride the eternal wave of joy until it is always. I'll join you in the meditation and return to close us out. take this with you the rest of the day into the evening and night and the following morning. Begin to know what it means to have no attachment, no expectations, going with the flow, and learning that you can ride the eternal wave of joy. And that is what is within you. Bring it out. Begin to practice riding the eternal wave of joy. You don't need any external authority. You don't need any external attention. It is all within you. We will be back here Saturday